Let us start with chapter microorganisms, either friend or foe. You can see in your surrounding several kinds of animals and plants which can be seen with naked eyes. Biggest animal on the earth surface is a blue whale, and smallest one you can see in your surrounding, that is the ant. But these can be seen with naked eyes. Can you think about, there are certain living organisms on the earth surface which cannot be seen with naked eyes? Such organisms are known as a microorganism. So how we can see them? We can see them with the help of simple instrument known as a microscope. And first of all, first living cell was observed by Anton von Leeuwenhoek in 1674 with his self-designed microscope. Rainy season, you have seen on bread there are some green patches are there, or there are some black patches are there. So these green and black patches are of a kind of microbes known as a fungi, and we can see clearly these patches with the help of magnifying glass, and you will be able to see black headed structures. Microorganisms can be categorized into 5 categories. Like first category is of bacteria, singular is bacterium. So bacteria and bacterium are the same. Bacteria is plural and bacterium is singular. Similarly, second category of microbe is fungi and singular is fungus. Third category of microbe is algae and singular is alga. Fourth category of microbes is a protozoa and singular is protozoan. And last one, fifth category of microbes are the viruses, or singular is virus. Why do we are studying these different categories of microbes, not as a single microbes only? Because the treatment of the disease depend on the type of microbe. For example, if we are taking antibiotic, they will act against only bacteria, not against viruses. So let's see some of the examples of disease caused by these microbes. Bacteria may cause typhoid, tuberculosis, tetanus in human beings, and ringworm by the fungi, and algae sometimes lead to the food poisoning. And the protozoa, malaria is due to protozoan. Sleeping sickness is also due to protozoan. Viruses cause measles, polio, and smallpox. Let us start with first category of microbes, that is the bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular, that is they are having only one cell is there. And what kind of nutrition is present in bacteria? They may be either saprotrophic or they may be parasitic. Saprotrophic means they are able to get food from the dead and decaying organic matter, and parasitic means they can get food from the living organism by living either inside their body or outside their body. And they reproduce. How do they reproduce? They reproduce by binary fission. Binary fission means, binary means two parts. To divide, fission means to divide into two equal parts, that is known as the binary fission. Bacteria can be of different types depending on shape. For example, if bacteria is spherical in shape, it is known as the cocci. If there is only one single cell is there, we say monococcus. If two cells are joined together, we say diplococcus. If the bacteria are present in the form of a chain of cells, then it is known as the streptococcus. If they are present in the form of a cluster or a group or a bundle, it is known as a staphylococcus. An example of this category of microbes is Streptococcus pneumoniae, Diplococcus pneumoniae, which causes pneumonia. And we are writing two words first letter of first word is capital and the second word first letter is small letter, and they are underlined separately while writing their names. Scientific names we are writing in that way. And if the shape of bacteria is rod, then we call such bacteria as bacillus. Like this kind of rod shape is there. Similarly, like the spherical shape, they can be monobacilli, diplobacilli. Third shape is comma shape. If bacteria are in the shape of comma like this, they are in the form of comma, then they are known as, the particular name is Vibrio. Example of this category of microbe is Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera. Fourth is, if the bacteria is spiral in shape, we like this spiral shape is there. There is a bunch or tuft of flagella at the ends, maybe at one end or maybe at both the ends. Such kind of bacteria is known as spiral. Let's see how small bacteria can be. Their size is measured in terms of micrometer, and 1 micrometer is equal to 10 raised to power minus 6 meter. That is, if we divide 1 meter into 10 lakh pieces, then that will be the size of bacteria. Smallest bacterium is the PPLO or Mycoplasma. Its size is near about 0.15 micron or 0.15 micrometer. PPLO or Mycoplasma, we can say they belong to category of Mycoplasma, and their size is about 0.15 micron. Largest bacterium, it can be seen with naked eyes. Name of this such bacterium you should know, although it is not in the syllabus. Fulopicium. Its size is about 0.7 millimeter. Let us discuss second category of microbes, that is fungi. You have eaten mushroom veg masala. You have eaten bhaturas in which yeast cells are used. So these mushroom and yeast are examples of fungi. These can be unicellular like the yeast cells, or they can be multicellular like mushroom, aspergillus, penicillium. Regarding their type of nutrition, they can be saprotrophic, that is, they are able to get food from dead and decaying organic matter. For example, mushroom can grow on dead and decaying matter, or they can be parasitic, that is, they are getting food from the living organisms, and they are used to generally grow in dark, moist and damp places, and the reproduction occur by spore formation. Let's discuss the diagram. Discuss general structure of fungi with the help of diagram. For this we will draw near about 3 vertical lines like this. We will draw. Then we will make inverted U, or you can say small bell like structure, and on this like this, and make hemispheres on these vertical lines. Then draw horizontal part also like this, and these are the part of fungi, part of hyphae which grow deep into the bread. So it is growing deep into the bread like this, and these structure, these black headed structure that you see on bread, these are the sporangia. In these sporangia, spores are, number of millions of spores are there. When these sporangia get mature, these spores will be distributed in air, surrounding air, And this vertical hyphae, this aerial hyphae which bears sporangia is known as the sporangiophore. And this single thread-like structure is known as a hypha. And these hypha grow parallel to the substrate. These vegetative hypha grow parallel to substrate. This bunch of hypha is known as a mycelium. And some of the hypha grow deep into the substratum, that is into the bread, that is known as the historia. And these spores, they are still present in our surrounding in air. Whenever these spores, wherever they get the food like the bread or get the moist condition, then these spores germinate and grow into new fungi. This is example of bread mold. Its scientific name is Mucor or Rhizobus. Similar kind of fungi is Penicillium, like this. It look like this. In it, conidiophores are there which bear conidia. Very simple. These balloon-like structures are there. On the top of these balloon-like structures, we can make conidia are there. This conidia-like structures in the form of chain is there, like this. This is example of Penicillium. This is the fungi from which we get the antibiotic named penicillin. Name of fungi is Penicillium. Students used to get confused, and name of antibiotic is penicillin. Category of microbes that we are going to discuss is about alga. You have seen on the surface of pond there are slimy green patches are there. These slimy green patches are of alga. These are the green alga. Besides this, there are other two kinds of alga, brown alga and red alga. They are present in sea water, marine water. So meaning of alga, it means seaweeds. They can be of many centimeters long. They can be unicellular like the Chlamydomonas, or they can be multicellular like Spirogyra. These two are examples of alga. As they possess chlorophyll, so they can synthesize their food themselves by photosynthesis, so they are autotrophic in nutrition. And there is no distinction between root. There are no root-like structure, no stem, no leaves. They just possess chlorophyll to trap sunlight to synthesize the food. Let's discuss their structure with the help of diagrams. How to draw the diagram of unicellular alga, that is Chlamydomonas. We will make U-like structure like this, broad U-like structure. And there are flagella, spiral shaped flagella like this at the top, which will help in locomotion. And there are two round structures like this. These are known as the eye spot or stigma, which will sense the sunlight for the photosynthesis. And there is a very big chloroplast, that is cup shaped. That is a peculiar feature of the Chlamydomonas. This is the cup shaped chloroplast. Although diagrams are given in NCERT, but they had not been labeled, so please label your diagram, because they may be asked, the question may be asked with labeling in the final exam. This darkly stained structure is nucleus. In the center of chloroplast, there are certain starch storing structures known as the pyrenoids. These bodies are known as pyrenoid bodies, which will store starch synthesized by the with the help of chloroplast. There are certain food vacuoles may be there, and in all other area the cytoplasm is there. So this is unicellular alga, that is Chlamydomonas. Another alga that I want to discuss, the diagram given in your book is of Spirogyra, that is multicellular. Many cells are there. They are having thread-like structure. I have magnified the diagram. When you see in the pond water, some green thread-like structures are there. If you see those green thread-like structures in the microscope, how does it look? It have ribbon-shaped chloroplast is there, like this. This ribbon-shaped chloroplast is there. We draw first with the free hand, then later on we will make it darker, like this. This simple ribbon-like chloroplast is there. That is peculiar feature of Spirogyra. Within these chloroplasts, there are oval structures are there. These oval structures are the pyrenite bodies, which will store the starch synthesized with the help of these chloroplasts. These are the pyrenite body. And the center nucleus, darkly stained nucleus is here. This is the nucleus, which is held like this with the help of cytoplasmic processes in the center, like this. These are the like this, the ribbon-shaped chloroplast. So this is all about structure of alga that is given. These diagrams are given in your book, so we need to discuss these diagrams. Fourth category of microbes that we are discussing, they are protozoa. Protozoans look like these structures. They are unicellular. They may have cilia, hair-like structures all around their body, or they may have flagella, long thread-like structures may be there. So they are unicellular, that is, they possess only one cell. Meaning of protozoa is, proto means first, zoa means animal. So they were the first animal to appear on Earth's surface. And regarding their nutrition, they may be parasitic, that is, they live inside the body of other living organisms to get the food, like malarial parasite Plasmodium. It get food from the human beings. And they may be autotrophic like Euglena. They may possess chlorophyll to synthesize the food with the help of photosynthesis. Let's discuss their structure, that is structure of amoeba and paramecium with the help of diagram. What are the general features of their body? We will discuss with the help of these two, amoeba and paramecium. We have studied in 7th class, 2nd chapter, about the nutrition in amoeba. At that time we have studied structure of amoeba. Amoeba have irregular shape like this. Irregular shape is there. It moves with the help of its false foot known as the pseudopodia. In the center, darkly stained bodies are present known as the nucleus. These darkly stained bodies are the nucleus. And there are small food vacuoles in which digestion of food take place, and there is a big contractile vacuole which will control the amount of water entering inside the cell. This is the general structure of amoeba, and beside this, the whole cell cytoplasm is there. That is a cytoplasm. So this one is food vacuole. So this is about labeling of amoeba. Next protozoan that I am going to discuss, very beautiful slipper-like shape is there in the paramecium, like this. It have hair-like structure all around its body. These hair-like structures are known as the cilia. Here downwardly projecting hairs are there, and it have two nucleus are there. One is macronucleus. Macro means bigger one, and other is micronucleus, that is the smaller nucleus. Macronucleus, this one micronucleus, small nucleus. There are two contractile vacuoles, very beautiful contractile vacuole, like the shape of flowers are there, and these contractile vacuoles control the amount of water entering inside the or outside the cell. These are the two contractile vacuoles. So you can label these. This is contractile vacuole. This is known as a gullet. In this downwardly projecting cilia are there, and they will help to push the food inside, and the food vacuoles will be formed. So the food come into the food vacuole and will be digested with the help of enzyme, and undigested food will pass out here. Undigested food is thrown out. And in the whole cell there is a cytoplasm is there. So it moves with the help of this hair-like structure known as a cilia. Last category of microbes that we are going to discuss is about viruses. Their size is still smaller than bacterium. So they are very small size. Their size ranges from 20 to 300 millimicrons. That is their size in nanometer. So they can live inside the bacterial cell, they can live inside animal or plant cell. They possess acellular organization. That means they does not possess any cellular structure like the plasma membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. Nothing is there in the viruses. No cytoplasm, no plasma membrane, no nucleus in viruses. So what about their structure? So they are made of two components only. They have outer protein core for the protection. They possess a nucleic acid, and they can not, if they are outside the living cells, they will not be able to grow, they will not be able to reproduce. So they behave like the non-living material outside the cell, or they can be stored like the salt in the bottles. But when they enter inside the cell, they will use the host machinery for its multiplication. They multiply very fast, so they behave like the living beings inside the cell. So they are at the border of the living and non-living. We can say they are the connecting links between living and non-living things. Let's discuss about the general structure of virus. I am here discussing about the a type of virus which can infect bacteria. It is known as bacteriophage. Let's study general structure of viruses. First we will draw hexagonal head like this. Then we will make small rectangle that will be the collar. Then draw vertical line like this, and we will draw the tail part, contractile tail made of protein. This head, outer head, is also made of protein. They will provide protection to this very important genetic material, that is nucleic acid. It can be single stranded RNA, it can be double stranded DNA or single stranded DNA. And then there are tail pins are there which will help this virus to fix on the bacterial cell. These are the tail pins which will help the virus to fix it on the bacterial cell. So these are the tail pins. This one protein head part, or that is made of protein coat. This one collar. Let's discuss where do microbes live. They are present everywhere on the earth's surface. That is, they are omnipresent. They are present in air, they are present in water, they are present in soil. If you take 1 gram of soil and shake it well with water and take soil will settle down, and take a 1 drop of water and observe this 1 drop of water on a glass slide, you will be able to see many microbes are moving here and there under the microscope. And in the same way, if we take 1 drop of water on the glass slide and observe under the microscope, you will be able to see many microbes. And they are present not only in air and water, they are also present inside our body, they are also present outside the body. If you say that your hands are very clean, but they are not like this. If you observe water, wash your hand and observe a drop of water on the microscope, you will be able to see that there are so many microbes are there on your hand. And they are also present in extreme environmental conditions, like if very hot springs are there, then microbes, no vegetation is there, no living beings you will be able to see in the surrounding, but they will be present in those hot water springs. In the similarly, at the other extreme condition, that is very cold polar ice caps, there will be no plants, no animals, and but bacteria or other microbes may be present there. And they are also present very deep in the oceans. They are also present in very dry conditions like deserts.